What's good, YouTube? David Sports Cards here, back with another video. Hope you're all doing well. Today, I'm joined by my good friend Jake at Legends Never Die, where neither will you if you know Jesus. Jake, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great, Dom. Good to be hanging out with you again, man. I'm excited for today.
Yeah, this is actually the first collaboration hosted on the Staven Sports Cards channel. I've been in plenty of other live streams and pre-recorded conversations, but finally breaking the wheel on that one, and Jake being the first one is really awesome. We actually have the third installment of Jake and I's never-ending trade. So I have this package here from Jake, which also includes some stuff that I bought from him as well. So I'll figure out what it is while I go through it. But Jake, I don't know if there was anything you wanted to tell the people about the never-ending trade, or about like what you sent or what you were thinking.
Yeah, sure. So this was actually something I started with Kyle Groundchuck, and I had told Dom about it. If you haven't seen this before, I had some things that I wanted to send him. He had sent something to me, and I'm like, hey, what do you think about doing a never-ending trade? And it's just like a care package. There's no set time or anything. We just continually send each other stuff. And I know, at least for me, it's been a lot of fun, both seeing the random oddball stuff that Dom sends me, as well as finding stuff like that for him has been fun.
No, definitely. You taped a lot of stuff together here, but you got to start with the custom always. Jake has amazing custom cards. So that's sick there. Use like, I think that's, you bought some, but a couple extras. Okay. You bought some, but a couple extras, never ending trade with Dom, Chop On, and he also put Ozzy Albies over Marcus Semien.
You just thought you got rid of it when you eliminated my name on the screen.
I could have chose not to mention it, but I'm the bigger person here. I'm going to tell the people what you sent me. If those of you didn't check out the first episode of Cracking Cooperstown over on Jake's channel, we started a Hall of Fame podcast about both Hall of Fame cases as well as collecting Hall of Famers. And we talked about the active Hall of Famers in today's game. The Marcus Semien Ozzy Albies part was unfortunately in the latter part of the episode where we had some audio issues. So some of you might not be too familiar, but if you've been following the comments, both on my videos as well as my podcast, Solo Shot Sports, you can see the back and forth that me and Jake have been having, and I've clearly been a Marcus Semien supporter as of recently, so that's really awesome. So these are some 65 commons that I needed. Giants rookies.
Yeah.
Cardinals rookies.
So for Dom's set build of 65, that's come along Astros really well. Rookies.
Yeah, I'm a 71% of the way there. Johnny Blanchard and Mickey Lolich. So those are always good to get. Checking those off.
If anybody's watching that doesn't know, Dom, why did you choose to build 65? Because it's your first vintage set.
Well, I've always loved the set, and I actually kind of fell into a lot of over 200 different 65 Topps commons, a lot of which were high numbers as well. And I was originally thinking that I would sell it as a partial set to go towards a big card, or maybe use it in trade with a dealer that sells a lot of vintage commons to get a card that I wanted. But if it was any other year in the 60s, I probably would have done that. 65, I had second thoughts, and then Jake, the set and spreadsheet wizard that he is, immediately poked the bear and said, like, you should do it. So I started doing it, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm doing the set the wrong way, commons first, big stars still left to go, but it's been a lot of fun, and I hope to continue to at least chug along on it. At first, I was trying to really blow through it, but I'm going to just let it come as it does. These cards are always available to buy. So I see the first card that I definitely didn't spend my money on is this Ozzy Albies Allen and Ginter rookie card was included. So that's really cool. Allen and Ginter cards are beautiful. Ozzy Albies, I said it during our episode. I do think that he is on the path to be a sneaky Hall of Famer, especially if he can hit for power the way he's done early this season. But didn't make my list quite, partially because I wanted to talk about Marcus Semien. So that's really cool.
I had to hit you with an Albies before you got me with a Semien. I just had to be first.
Well, you knew Semien was going to be involved in the next care package at this point, but I got Yogi Berra for my set. It's a great card of him. His last card, high number rookie Mets card, a high number checklist, which is clean. So that's always awesome.
Really nice checklist.
Shout out Hugo from Signs of the Pastime. We're Al Lopez buddies, and this is a great card of his that I didn't have for the set. Another sad Mets player at the end of the road, his last Topps card, Warren Spahn, capless. I'm sure this is one of your favorite Spahn cards.
Warren Spahn has no ugly cards except for that one.
Well, then you can't say no. You just get to say that's his ugliest card. Gibson wins finale. Bill Mazeroski. And dude, that's awesome. 51 Topps, but I did not own a blue back. They are so much tougher than the red backs. And Granny Hamner is one of the best common names of the 50s. You can fight me on it. Like, just an awesome name. And I own a blue card now, so that's great for my type collecting ways, to get the blue back in there as well.
If only it was a Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame type collector Dom. I mean,
how many Hall of Famers are blue backs, though? I haven't looked too far into it.
Not many. There's only a handful.
Yeah, so that's part of the reason why I don't have one is they're not super common to begin with, but then the fact that you have to pay up for the Hall of Famer even more.
Mm-hmm.
But this was really awesome. I don't collect a lot of basketball, but I bought a type card of Elvin Hayes. If I knew for sure this was in here, I definitely would have grabbed mine. But I got a 69 Jack in the Box rookie card of Elvin Hayes, and I got it for really cheap. It was a cool card. Never seen one before until I bought it. And Jake was like, "Oh, I got like his real rookie if you're interested," and gave me a good price on this. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, just throw it in." Not a big basketball guy. I know Elvin Hayes is very overlooked, so that kind of fits my underdog mentality when I collect. And this is another set checked off that I didn't have anything yet. The 67 posters, Don Drysdale there, great image. These, it's partially because of these top loaders. Like, you have to buy like very specific cases to hold them. And also they're so thin that like if I'm buying them in person, I'm going to nitpick the heck out of it. Like, when I get my Yaz, I want like a really minty one. And that's not always the easiest thing to find with these. A lot of them are folded, ripped, etc. Well, that's a nice one right there.
You may know this, Dom, but were they originally folded in the packaging? That's what I understand.
Yeah.
So, like, to find one that doesn't have heavy folding, I mean, they're tough.
They are, yeah.
And like you said, they're like paper thin. But when you said you didn't have one, we were talking, and you just, "Hey, do you happen to have one of these yet?" And you're like, "No," and I'm like, "I know where that one's going."
No, I appreciate that, man. And Don Drysdale is another guy. Like, pitchers just don't get love in our hobby. Like, I'm sure that like he doesn't have a high demand from that set, but like I love getting things like that because if the
really
masses don't want, if the masses don't want it, I'm going to be getting a better deal for my collection. So I love that kind of stuff. These are really awesome. Jake actually, in the first iteration of this, he sent me one out of the kindness of his heart. These two I bought with my own money because they're just so dang cool. Perez Steel registration cards. This one is from the Great Moments set of Monty Irvin, and that is just super cool. I've seen it where some of those like really old Hall of Famers, like Babe Ruth, etc., like they'll chop up a letter that they wrote, and it will be like one word that they wrote, and they'll put a price tag on like that authentic word that he wrote that isn't his signature. So like getting like the extra inscriptions, but it's just them filling out the card. Really awesome. These are super hard to find. You don't see them every day. And a guy who is definitely very fond in my collecting, Johnny Mize as well. right there. That's from the Masterworks, I believe, as well. So that kind of completes that type collecting urge in me as well, because the Rick Farrell that you gave me is just from the Hall of Fame postcards. So then I have a great moment and a Masterwork. I don't have to look and compete with you on these anymore, my friend. So those are really awesome. I'm super glad to add those. And then there's just a fat stack of oversized stuff here. And I'm interested to see what is in here. There's a nice K-line exhibit right on the front.
Yeah, he's a little rough, but I didn't know if you had a 47 to 66 exhibit.
I have a lot of exhibits, but I did not have this K-line.
Okay.
So that's really cool. And shout out to our friend Dave at Legends of the Dugout. Big K-line fan, but the bats are front and center in this image. And Dave sent me a very nice birthday gift of a Yastrzemski model bat recently with my latest video on the channel. So this definitely makes me think of him. It's a really cool image. I love when the bat or the glove is like the subject of the image and the player's kind of secondary.
It's cool.
It's just really cool to look at.
They stand out. They're different.
They do. And that's the 70 top super. It's hard to tell until you look at the back. Sam McDowell from the Cleveland Indians. Very good pitcher in his day. I know our good friend Scott collects a lot of him. Dave McNally. This was a 71.
Orioles pitcher. Will. Hey, Will.
Yeah, Will probably likes this guy, right?
Yeah, he probably likes
him. But yeah, he was on that Orioles pitching staff that had 4 20-game winners in the same season, which is pretty special. And then Frank Howard here is sticking to the next card. There you go. Frank Howard. Crazy good slugger. I love the floating head on the back.
Look at the old school batting helmet on that over the cap.
Yeah, over the cap. Yeah. Windbreakers on the field regularly.
Yeah.
Those are fun. Great stuff. And then this Rusty Staub's cool. It has like a overprint of whatever the next card was on the side too, which is always fun to see with these issues. And nice little headshot of him there on the back. So that was really awesome, Jake. I appreciate you both sending me the cards that I paid for, as well as like including all these awesome extras. You hit 2 things that I did not have in the PC yet at all, set-wise. So that is really big. Let the people know what else you got going on.
Yeah, man, sure. So I actually just shot another video I'll release on my channel soon, but summer's stupid busy for me in ministry. Like June is ridiculous. Dom's been like, hey, when can we shoot this video? When can we shoot this video? But I'm looking forward to jumping back into it here relatively soon. I've got a trip still to Australia this summer. So I'll be gone for a little bit for that. But I'm really excited about the new podcast. I really am. That was a lot of fun to do the first episode. And it's not going to be a regular thing. It's not going to be a weekly thing. Just kind of when Dom and I can get together and we've got something we want to talk about. But it may be more frequent than we originally planned because I'm excited.
No, I am definitely excited too. I appreciate all the support on the first episode. Got like over 150 views, some nice comments as well. And we're just going to keep getting better with that every time we do it. I mean, it's something where like the unforeseen audio issue happened very late in the game. Everything else was crystal before that, so that's unfortunate. But it's really fun. And what's great about Hall of Fame talk is we're not going anywhere. The Baseball Hall of Fame is not going anywhere. And these cases are going to be built over years, both active players and retired players, depending on what committee they get put on and how many years it's been since they've been on a ballot. That kind of stuff. It's immortal, just like the Baseball Hall of Fame. So it won't be as regular as my podcast, but it will be a lot of fun. And you can always collect Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers.
Yeah, collecting that stuff isn't going away either. So,
oh, definitely not, especially with us being around. But I appreciate you so much, my friend. Thank you for the gifts. I really appreciate it. Now I definitely got to hit you both in the PC and the Simeon collection next time around. But definitely looking forward to that. Let us know in the comments below what you think of our never-ending trade. The first iteration is on my channel, and then we started doing these duos over on Jake's channel for the second one. This is the third one. So these will be a regular thing, just like the podcast, that when I have a stack together, it'll go out to him, and we'll set up a recording like this.
Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Leave us a comment below. Can I close it out, Dom?
Hey, go ahead.
All right. Keep collecting, and God bless.